It's pretty interesting to see the amount of nutrients that's actually in the meat, just eating very, very plain and basic meals. And I think that's even more telling about how easy it seems like it would be to bump all that stuff up that's kind of low just by adding variation and variety to the diet. And that's another reason why I think it's important to do that, because based off of what I'm seeing just in the data and chronometer, and of course that's not the full picture, but it at least tells a part of the story. It seems like it is pretty important to include variety just to make sure you're rounding out your nutrition. Because if you have these vitamins, these minerals, these nutrients that are chronically low, and you're never including any kind of variation or variety in your diet, it makes you wonder if you would eventually develop nutritional deficiencies. And I would say that there's a pretty good chance that you would over a long period of time. And you know, when I was really sick before I came to carnivore, and the whole reason I came to carnivore is because I got extremely sick, my health was destroyed, I had nutritional deficiencies. I had some very, very severe ones, specifically certain minerals, and I believe I developed those over a long period of time because I was not eating the right things. And I can't say that it was because I wasn't eating food and I was depriving myself, because I was eating a lot of food. I was eating around the same amount of calories I am now, 4,000 calories or so, a lot of times more. So it wasn't that I was depriving myself of food. It was that I was depriving myself of nutrients. And that's why I feel like nutrition and nutrients are far more important than calories. And I feel like those are the things you should pay attention to, because in the grand scheme of things, you can eat 1,000 calories in Twinkies and have it completely wreck your health and give you absolutely nothing in return. Whereas you can consume 1,000 calories in eggs and seafood and red meat, and it gives you all of the fundamental building blocks that your body needs to regenerate, grow, and replenish cells. So the belief that you can eat what you want as long as your calories are in check, I think is a complete falsehood. And I think that's one of the biggest lies we've been told about nutrition, amongst many others. And I think by what I'm seeing, just by doing what I'm doing right now, it seems like I'm kind of proving that. I'm proving that I'm eating at a calorie surplus every single day. And by all intents and purposes, I should be gaining a lot of weight because I'm eating at a surplus of 1,000 calories plus most days. But I think the difference is that I'm eating the right foods. And those foods are nourishing my body. They are not causing metabolic dysfunction. They're not causing me to gain excess weight. They're not causing me to store fat. I think those foods and those nutrients are giving my body exactly what it needs to function optimally. And that means that my metabolic system is functioning optimally as well, because I'm not gaining weight. And when I was eating this amount of calories before, when I was powerlifting, I was bodybuilding, I was gaining weight and I was gaining fat. And I was also consuming roughly 60% carbohydrates. So I know that was a little bit of a tirade there, but sometimes I feel like that kind of stuff's worth mentioning, because the further I go along in this, it's kind of opening my eyes to a lot of things that I kind of already knew, but it's just reaffirming them. So for that reason, I really like the way this experiment's going. I like the way this is kind of panning out. And I feel like this is very important. It's important to me to know what these foods are doing to me, what I'm actually getting in my body. Even after 5 years of doing this, I think it's important to kind of know that. So for me, this is kind of a fulfilling thing, because I'm learning more about myself and I'm learning more about the foods I'm putting in my body, which I feel like is very, very important.